There has been some very positive news this week about COVID-19 in Broward County. The positivity rate from testing consistently has been below 5%.
Before the county, though, can move to phase 2 opening, that rate needs to hold for 14 days. This holiday weekend poses a concern for those managing the pandemic. One of them, Mayor Dale Holness, was pretty optimistic at his news conference on Friday. Joining us now from Fort Lauderdale via Skype. Mayor, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on.
Always. So the bookend holidays of summer, Memorial Day and Labor Day. After Memorial Day, we did see a spike in COVID cases. The situation is sort of very different 3 months later. Are you worried like that for Labor Day weekend?
Very concerned about Labor Day weekend. We know people are going to enjoy themselves, and we want them to do so, but safely. So we have put a lot more code enforcement folks. We're working closely with police departments across the county. And I'll tell you that last night there were 325 inspections, 19 violations issued, 8 citations with staff from the county. And that's in addition to whatever the cities did also that weren't done jointly with us. So we're being vigilant. It is important that we maintain this positivity rate of less than 5% for 14 days to give us the opportunity for us to reopen the economy better so we can ensure that people are able to take care of their livelihoods.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that the enforcement is going on. I saw Sheriff Tony on Friday. He said also that BSO is going to be working hand in hand with code enforcement. I've got to say, anecdotally, last weekend we drove down Las Olas Boulevard in the evening, and it kind of looked like, you know, there was no pandemic. People were clustered. People were drinking outside of some restaurants. But I take it that you're cracking down.
We have to. The fact is this: most of our citation and our violations are from restaurants, not wearing masks, not socially distancing. That's a huge concern for us. We implemented the 311 number for people to call to report any violations. And so to date, we've had over 10,000 calls for reporting the people who are not doing what they ought to have been doing to help bring this spread of this virus down. 274 citations have been issued as a result of that. And we're constantly out there working to make sure that we're maintaining the vigilance. Now, everyone needs to understand we're in this together. And though you want to enjoy the weekend, you have to think about the health and well-being of everyone and yourself.
Mayor,
and the economy.
The dashboard that the county has that outlines, the public can look and see where the citations and the warnings are throughout the county. And these are businesses, right? The dashboard is businesses, not individuals. Is that right?
Correct.
So,
the dashboard has businesses.
Okay, so the 19 violations that you just talked about on businesses, characterize those. Is that social distancing? Is that sanitary? I mean, the state inspects for sanitation and code as well. So are these COVID-specific violations?
They are COVID, primarily COVID. There's some sanitization in it also. They look at the whole thing. And again, most of what we're seeing is not wearing facial covering and social distancing.
Yeah. In the businesses, I want to just make that distinction.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so then it is on a scale of 1 to 10, the business community that we've seen tries to be generally very compliant. Is that the issue, or is the issue individual responsibility? So
it's both, and we started to fine individuals $100 if they're not wearing facial coverings. That they take personal responsibility, because all of us are responsible. So we want to make sure that the public understands that it's not just the business that will be fined, it's individuals also that will be fined if they're not following the protocols that we set in place to safeguard our health.
Yeah, Mayor Holness, as you well know, on Tuesday, Palm Beach County is going to be moving into phase 2, reopening more of the economy. And how close do you think Broward County is? The positivity rate for testing is, for 10 straight days, it's been below 5%, which is really good. How much better do you have to be before you go to phase 2?
Well, if you look at Palm Beach's positivity rate, they have been much lower than us over the past 3 weeks. We are just at about 5%. We want to see consistently at least 14 days below a 5% positivity rate in order for us to look to reopen. But understand also that we have gone to some phase 2 already with our bowling alleys and movie theaters being open, though restricted. So we will look to see how we can phase in the rest of phase 2 as we go along with the positivity rate below remaining low. That is why it's so essential for all of us to participate in bringing the spread of the virus down.
Will the phase 2 decision be yours, or is that something that the governor has to grant before you can go there?
So the process is that we will request from the governor to allow us to go to phase 2. Once we have done so, then we will then be able to enter phase 2. The decision is going to be one that's collective on the part of the county administrator, with input from the elected officials from Broward County and also our mayors. We're looking to have a mayor's call for our mayors across the county next week. We do that pretty much on a weekly basis, get their input, because we're in this together. We have to work together to safeguard our health and ensure that we're looking to revive our economy so people can get back to work.
Yeah, Mayor Dale Holness, we appreciate your time, and let's certainly hope that we all get through this weekend up there in Broward County. Well, we are in Broward County. That everywhere we get through this weekend without a upsurge of people disregarding the threat from COVID-19.
Even in your homes, look to see if you're having events at your home, that you also safeguard yourself and your family by wearing facial coverings and social distancing.
Good advice. Thanks, Mayor.